Hello. I just wanted to make this video and kind of go over some more recent news regarding Flock. And so I'm going to start off with this. This has blown up on Twitter, and I'm going to put a screenshot that shows how many posts were made about it. So this blew up yesterday, but it's still like getting a lot of traction today. So let's just go ahead and look at the video.
Yeah, you might think it's just an innocent little speed reader, right? Oh, look at this. Volusia Sheriff's own this one. Gets my speed. I might even be able to get 5 miles an hour out of it from running. But what lurks on the back of it? Not there, but right there.
Okay, so I believe this is all we need to see from the video. He just goes over and, looks at it some more. But, this is the meat and potatoes of the video right here. This Flock camera that is inside of this. So a lot of people did not know that these existed, specifically what was shown in this video. So let's go to Flock's website, because I've known before this video blew up that these exist, but I didn't think that a lot of people didn't know what it was. So I'm gonna make a video about it on Flock's website. Here, actually, let's just pretend like you're going to the website and you're trying to find this. So let's just go to products and let's go to LPR and let's scroll down. So right here, LPR camera family. What a lot of people don't know is that there are multiple types of LPRs that Flock sells. And the ones that you see the videos on are either the standard or the long range. Now, visually, the standard and long range look the exact same, and you will not notice a difference. The flexes looks slightly different, and this is different. This is a totally different thing, but this is what I want to focus on: the trailer. If you notice, it's marketed as temporary LPR coverage for events or hotspots, no construction needed. And if you noticed, this looks a bit different from
Right there.
the trailer shown in this video here. Let me back up a little bit so that we could see the front of it. So right here, this is a very, very different design from what is shown on their website. Different screen, but overall it's like, it's the same thing. It's a little trailer. And the Flock camera is on the back. It doesn't show on this page, but it is on the back of the screen. And then, of course, if we go forward in the video, it's on the back of this as well. And if you go to, okay, so this is also different from what is here, because if we scroll back down and we go to trailer, this is different from this. This one is using these cameras. I'm pretty sure these are the Condor cameras to detect people in the area. So I was able to find the article. So this was published February 19th, 2025. Again, this was before, all this information came out and everything, and this whole trailer thing was kind of kept under the radar. So yeah, so here's a picture of the back. It's behind the screen, but this is, again, a very different design from what is shown here, but this is obviously a Flock camera. There is some text in here that I thought was very alarming. So before we continue with this, I would just like to point out, so these are both trailers. This is the LPR trailer, and this is a security trailer. So these are two different products, but I would just like to point out something. At the end of the day, these are both Flock safety trailers, except one is for security and one is for public surveillance. And both of them brag about how, like, oh, you can deploy smarter and place it in critical areas without having to, dig a hole in the ground and whatnot. But specifically in the mobile security trailer, what I found alarming was the fact that it highlights not needing a permit. I don't think these are going to be put up everywhere, these security trailers. I don't think you could get away with placing 30 of these. I don't think it's needed to place 30 of these. I think it would be too expensive for most municipalities, and they're not going to need 3 cameras. They're pan, tilt, zoom cameras anyway, so they move on their own. So it'd be way too expensive. I see like private businesses buying this one. But here, this is just one camera on the back of it. And there actually is one of these in the city over from me. And I drive past it. It's by a really, really busy spot. And I think it is incredibly invasive to just place one of these here and there's no permit, no anything. It just appears there. Virtually no oversight really to how it gets there. It just kind of appears, because at least with the regular LPRs with the poles, they require permits, but these do not. And also, if I search up permit that phrase isn't even found. Okay, so as I was reading, I figured out why this one is like not really seen as much. On the website, there's this one, the message and speed. Well, if you scroll down here to two configurations, the image up here, this is the message and speed trailer. Combines vehicle recognition with a customizable message sign and speed feedback display. Ideal for traffic calming, high visibility, event security, and public engagement. And then 2, the speed feedback trailer. A streamlined, low-profile option focused on vehicle recognition and speed feedback, perfect for residential areas or smaller roadways. Both configurations are designed for single-person setup, tamper, and low battery alerts. This is probably the low-profile, streamlined version, but there's no pictures of it or anything, and people don't really know that the trailer ones even exist. And the ones that Flock is making it known that they exist are the message ones. So yeah, like I'm having a difficult time trying to find pictures of this one, which I think is why this video blew up, is because there's not really a lot of documentation on this specific model. But this one there is. I think what's happening and why this blew up so much is people didn't really know that this existed, because it's an obvious difference between this one and this one. I just wanted to kind of give my stance and kind of explain this video that's been circulating. Now let's go on to a very significant piece of news that is from today. Tim Burchett calls to ban Flock cameras. This is huge. Finally, we have someone that sees an issue with it. And one thing that I think really tells how bad this is, you have people on both sides of the political spectrum coming together and saying this is wrong, this is overstepping, and this is a privacy violation. There is a little bit of misinformation. This post is not entirely true. What this legislation would do, it would just prevent federal grant dollars from going towards these cameras. It doesn't actually ban the cameras from being sold or anything. It's just getting rid of a way for people to buy them, which is a step closer, but is not at all close to what we would want to see, which is really strange because, down here, while talking to Knox News about the cameras, Burchett took particular issue with Flock safety. The company made national news after police officers misused its camera network to track women for personal reasons. And then Burchett said, "It's too much. I see it as a very slippery slope." So he recognizes that Flock is a liability and everything. I don't believe this article even mentions the word ban in terms of the cameras. Yeah, the ban would only apply to federal crime prevention grants. So it's not actually banning the cameras. It's just a better way of wording it is it's banning the use of these type of money that comes from these grants to go towards those cameras. So if people have money coming from someone else so they want to spend on these cameras, they can still 100% do that. This is misinformation, and it is blown up. The last piece of news that I want to talk about comes from me. If any of you looked at the description in the last video, I know I do not check the description of every single YouTube video, but I kind of soft launch it and I've recommended it to people who have DM'd me. I have made my own guide regarding Flock. The goal of this is to help people who are wanting to get rid of it in their own communities and they might not know where to start or what to do or sources to get things. That is where this comes in handy. I'm just gonna give a quick little rundown. I'm not going to go through every single little bit. First of all, we have the main page, just, saying thank you. And again, thank you for the support in this. If I was not getting support in this, I would not have made this. So thank you for that. And also ignore the jankiness. This isn't posted like a traditional Google Doc. Google has like a published a web feature, which is what I'm using. Yeah, it's really weird with the formatting, but anyways, yeah, let's just go through the sections. I'm going to start with the email templates. So there's 2 of them. So let's start with this one. So if you feel comfortable being able to explain the tech side of things, if for example, your representative reaches back out to you and they would like more information, if you feel comfortable being able to talk to them about that, I would recommend this email. This is not strictly tech-based, but up here it is. And my thing is, if you send this and they ask about this, they ask for more information because they're really interested in it and you can't give them anything, that's going to look really bad and it's going to halt your progress or potentially completely reverse your progress. In the case that you don't feel super confident in explaining the technical side, there's this one. And I recommend this one for the majority of people. This one just has different points from a non-technical stance. Let's go to sources. I have been going in and adding all different types of videos and articles. Let's start right here. I'm going to read the disclaimer here because this is very important to note. As time progresses, some of these stories libraries may become outdated in certain aspects, and also some of these may come out to end up being untrue. And then right here I have an example of something that has become outdated. So let's take the unencrypted camera feeds, for example. You can't go up there and say that these cameras are streaming unencrypted feeds, because that is currently not true. That has been patched. So instead, you could just say the fact that vulnerability existed in the first place shows the incompetence of Flock, which it does. And then of course, if something's not truthful, then I'll remove it because it doesn't need to be there, and I don't want somebody else using that and then them getting pushback. So here, self-explanatory, we got videos before, you know, some notes about it. For example, this is a 404 Media video. In case if you guys haven't watched 404 Media, they'll sometimes do like 2 different stories in one. So for example, in this one, it's like something completely unrelated to Flock. So I just put the timestamp for if you're specifically looking for that, and then also like a description of the video and what it covers. This is what I will be adding to mostly, are the videos and articles. I'm not going to put a description here for the articles, because if you're looking at an article, I feel like you're going to read it anyways. Whereas this, you know, you might not have time to watch a whole YouTube video, but you have time to read a short little description. And then also, here are some other ones that I think are really important to note. This is the Flock TOS if you were looking for it. I had a semi-hard time finding it. Whenever I was looking for their TOS, it kept on sending me to their FAQ. So I figured I would put it in here in case if anyone else was having a hard time finding it. In this, I have not seen anyone talk about this, so I might be the first one to like mention it on YouTube. So this is the ALPR abuse library, and it's sorted by most recent, and it also has different categories. So we all know about the stalking ones. If you want to come at it from a different angle, or let's say you live in a blue state and you know ICE is a really big thing there, you might want to go to this article right here and look at it. This might be up your alley. Or if you want to pivot to innocent people being affected by it, you would go to this one for a false arrest. There's a ton of different things here. I really think that this is going to be one of the most important pieces to getting rid of Flock. Having this library is an extremely valuable asset to have. And with that, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you live, and bye-bye.